DJI Pocket 3 just got a lot better because it received a new firmware which adds a lot to the image quality of this great device. So let's take a closer look. The first feature about the new firmware is the 2x crop mode with enhanced image quality in video mode. So here you can see the regular field of view of the DJI Pocket 3, and here is the regular 2x digital zoom, which is so-so in terms of the image quality. But here is the new crop mode side-by-side comparison, and even on the smaller screen you can definitely tell the difference, but let's zoom in 500% and there is just night and day difference between those two modes, which is crazy good. Now let's take a look at the close-up image quality of this trunk. So here is the 2x regular digital zoom, and here is the side-by-side comparison with the new crop mode being on the right, and the difference is not that huge, but I can definitely see that. And when we zoom into 500% scale, the difference is more obvious, and it's a really cool feature to have. So if you wanted tighter focal length with your DJI Pocket 3, you'd better use this mode and crop in straight to the 2x camera, let me say, and you'll have much better image quality than simply digitally zooming with this little lever on the side. But there is a caveat, guys. This mode doesn't work in D-Log M mode, which I prefer because it has better color fidelity, and you see that when I pick the D-Log M we don't have this feature, but when we go back to the normal color we have this feature enabled. One more pretty interesting example is those bushes, because it has a lot of little details, and let me tell you that at 500% the image on the left looks like a blurry pixelated mess, but on the right it's much more usable. And when it comes to the skin tone and overall features of my face, here you can see the difference between those two modes, and it's not as obvious. So if you film a lot of talking head shots and you want to use the 2x crop mode, you can have better results, but it's not like dramatically better. The second feature is the focus breathing compensation. A lot of real lenses for digital cameras have this issue. When you focus, the field of view changes, the lens kinda zooms in and out, and the DJI Pocket 3 has notoriously bad focus breathing, especially if you try to film something close up and then you remove the object from the frame and the focus shifts to infinity. But when you turn on the focus breathing compensation, you get a lot less of breathing itself, so the picture is not zooming in a ton, as you can tell from those examples side by side. But to achieve this, the image crops in to about 3% extra, and 3% is almost nothing, so I would highly recommend you enable this feature and simply forget about it. So overall, a great feature to have, and I'm very satisfied that DJI have implemented it with the firmware update for free. But as I said, guys, this feature does crop in just a tiny bit, and if you want a wider field of view, you can use some external lenses from our company, for example. So here you can see a kit of 3 lenses: macro, wide angle and anamorphic, and what the wide angle lens does is basically giving you 10% more field of view. So this is how the image looks with and without it, and it attaches magnetically, which is very convenient. And this is how much wider shot you get with a wide angle lens, which is, by the way, a 2-in-1 lens. So basically you combine those two lenses magnetically, a wide angle 0.9x and the 40mm macro, and you can have both at your DJI Pocket 3 at all times. And here is the difference between the minimum focusing distance of the Pocket 3 itself and with the 40mm macro lens. The difference is simply dramatic. But wide-angle lens is not the only lens that can add some width to your shots. We also have some anamorphic lenses for a more creative and cinematic style of shooting. So here is our Freewell 1.1x anamorphic lens. Of course, it's not super wide, but it does give you a little wider field of view horizontally. It attaches magnetically as well, and it gives you a pretty nice and cool looking cinematic blue flares, as you can tell from those images. So if you want to achieve a slightly more cinematic look from your Pocket 3, the anamorphic lens would be a nice choice. And the cool thing about this kit is that you can use ND filters with any of those lenses. One more crucial filter for any camera is the circular polarizing filter, which removes the reflections and can enhance the color of the sky, as I'm showing you in this example. Yes, it is super tiny, magnetic, but you can still rotate it to achieve the desired results. And the polarizing filter can be even combined with an ND filter, and we have a huge 14 items pack for you to use with your DJI Pocket 3 camera, including circular polarizing filters combined with ND filters and ND filters by themselves, as well as 2 more filters: the snow mist filter to soften a little bit the highlights and the skin tones, and also a special light pollution reduction filter, or LPR, that is mostly used for astrophotography. And of course, guys, you do want to use an ND filter with with your Pocket 3 because you can see the difference between the correct shutter speed, 1/50th, and the 1/8000th of a second, and you have completely different motion blur. And especially if you mount your Pocket 3 to a car to film another car, this motion blur adds a ton of cinematicness, if there is a word, to your image. Well done, DJI, we really appreciate your effort, and right now you can get even better results with the Pocket 3, which is so tiny but still has really great image quality, especially if you use proper gear with it, like the filters from our company. See you in the next video, guys, and if you did enjoy this one, smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Take care!